In the last episode of our Bavarian adventure, my friends and I visited the gorgeous alpine town of Garmisch, where we set out to summit the tallest mountain in all of Germany, Zugspitze. Along the way, we had ourselves a friendly sled tournament, enjoyed some alpine beers, and soaked in the stunning vistas of the Bavarian Alps. If you haven't seen it already, definitely go catch up on episode 1 and 2 before watching this one. Today, we're leaving Garmisch, and though we all tremendously enjoyed our time here, we are equally excited for the next leg of our journey.
Our stay in Garmisch has sadly come to an end. We're heading over to Fussen. We're gonna do some touring of castles. Should be pretty fun. And then we are heading tonight back to Munich and then over to Salzburg via train. We got a big day ahead of us, a lot of traveling, a lot of sightseeing. I'm excited. We're gonna be outside a lot of the day. All right, we made it to Fussen. The thing to see here are a couple castles, I guess.
Fussen is a small town in Bavaria situated right on the border of Austria, and despite having only a small population of roughly 16,000 residents, the town attracts more than 1.3 million visitors annually, as it's the closest hub to the extravagant Neuschwanstein and Hohenschwangau castles.
All right, we've chosen to walk all the way to the castle for some odd reason. Actually, it's not. We're kind of out of euros. We're out of cash. And the ATM here has like a $9 surcharge and a 13% markup. So all of us refused to fall victim to that. So the castle's all the way over there. This is gonna be a long walk and it's freezing.
Despite being here to visit the castle, I actually think the brisk walk up to it may have been my favorite part, as the leaves here rival even those of Asheville, North Carolina.
I'm actually pretty happy we didn't spend 12 euros on the bus. That was an enjoyable walk and that was not bad. Ty, do you know what the significance of this castle is? Like, why are we?
It's just pretty.
That's it?
Yeah, it was actually built in the late 1800s.
So it's not even that old?
It's not that old.
So we're just going to look at it.
It was about 100 years before the Disney one, which looks essentially the same.
Turns out, Tyler was right, as this castle indeed served as the inspiration for the Disney castle. Neuschwanstein was built in the late 1800s as a retreat for King Ludwig, as well as in honor of the composer Richard Wagner, who Ludwig admired greatly. Though Ludwig chose to pay for the palace out of his personal fortune and by means of extensive borrowing, construction was not completed before he died in 1886, and the castle was opened to the public shortly after his death. Since then, the palace has appeared in several movies such as the musical Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Great Escape, and even Spaceballs.
Alright, so after all that walking up, we walked up to the castle and then there's a whole other walk up. But the best view, the thing that everyone comes up to do, is there's a bridge way at the top, and unfortunately today it's closed because of construction. So we did get a much better vantage point on not only this castle, but the other castle that we're gonna head to. But we didn't get like the epic view. It's okay though. You satisfied, Big T?
Yeah, man. Satisfied.
All right, we're on to the third castle of the day. Smallest of the castles that Ludwig built, but apparently it has the most beautiful gardens. So
According to Hans.
according to the travel guide that Tyler's been reading. So we're trying to go see it and not pay to go in the castle. We don't really care about the inside. We just want to see the outside and these beautiful gardens.
Hans wasn't kidding. And despite much of the gardens being closed down for the end of the season, I was certainly impressed with the surrounding gardens of this castle, and honestly couldn't even begin to imagine just how much work goes into maintaining it all. With our castle touring complete, it was time to backtrack to Munich, where we would drop off our rental car and catch a train to our next destination, Salzburg, Austria.
We have made it to Austria. Going to find our hotel. Tyler tells me it's only a half a mile, which is really easy to say when you got the walker suitcase. It's really easy to say when all you're doing is walking.
Alex should have invested in one of these.
All right, we just got to our accommodations here in Salzburg, and as you can see behind me, we're staying at like a what is it called? Priester Seminar Salzburg. So it's like I'm pretty sure priests are training here. I think there's a seminary and a hotel. A little bit snug in here, but it's gonna be a snore-free zone. That's what matters. You snore. I don't know what you're talking about. Toilet separate from shower, which is not such a bad thing. Speaking of shower, I'm hopping in. All right, day one in Salzburg. Yeah, so we rented some bikes. Apparently this is a great place to bike rent. And we're off.
I may be biased, but I've often believed that bikes are amongst the best modes of travel to explore a new city. Not to mention, I just love riding on two wheels. So, as you all would expect, I was quite excited about today. Salzburg is the fourth largest city in Austria with a population of 156,000. Salzburg literally translates to Salt Castle, which makes sense as upon its founding in 696, its main source of income was salt extraction. It's also home to one of the largest medieval fortresses in Europe, is the birthplace of Mozart, and served as the backdrop for numerous famous scenes in The Sound of Music, including the one at our first stop, the gorgeous Mirabell Garden. As we continued on our bike ride, we made our way out into the country to see the Hellbrunn Palace before heading back into town to check out the birthplace of Mozart and the Pegasus Fountain from The Sound of Music. Not surprisingly, I'd have to say my favorite part was the actual bike riding around town.
Alright, turns out this bike ride is extremely pleasant. Gorgeous country out here in Salzburg.
Like Munich, Salzburg felt very bike-friendly with bike-specific lanes along most roads and very little car traffic to deal with. It certainly didn't hurt that it was also a perfect sunny day.
Alright, after a little afternoon rest, I'm heading back out to meet up with Tyler and Big T for a beer at a well-known beer garden around here.
We concluded the day with a visit to possibly my favorite brewery experience of our trip, St. Augustiner, where they have a pretty unique way of doing things.
Basically, what you do is you go and you grab your own liter from the wall there, and then you take it to the fountain, you clean it out yourself, then you walk over and pay and get your liter of beer. And did you get to see what beer this is? I didn't look.
Marza beer.
It was just one beer in a barrel, and he just filled it up. He didn't even ask anything after you pay.
Beer, yeah.
But it's pretty darn good. And this place is humongous. There's tons of different rooms inside, tons of people in there already. And I asked the guy at the front if it was a busy day, and he was like, nah. So apparently this place is quite popular.
Prost.
After finishing our appetizers of beer, bacon, and french fries, we headed out for our main course. After all, we had worked up quite an appetite from bike riding all day, and for dinner, we were treated to some of the best and freshest schnitzel of the trip thus far.
All right, another day in paradise. We are, this is like our second to last day.
I know. Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun, but
I'm a little exhausted, so kind of ready to get back.
But hey, the adventure continues even till the final day. So today we are taking a day trip out to, where are we going? Hallstatt. And what is there again?
I gotta read the guidebook. I don't know.
Luckily we have a 2-hour train trip for Tyler to read the guidebook and figure out why we're actually going here. The first leg of the trip over to Hallstatt done. Today we actually are on buses instead of trains. First time taking the bus. It's a little bit easier to catch from the city, but I'll tell you what, the drive over here was super pretty. We had some awesome moody clouds and fog. And yeah, Austria just seems quite pretty in general. All right, Ty, I saw you reading the guidebook on the bus, man. Tell me, why are we going to Hallstatt? What is there to see?
It's supposed to be a pretty town. I think that's pretty much it.
All right, we've made it to Hallstatt, and I'm no longer curious as to why we needed to come visit here. Look at this place, guys.
I'm certain that Hallstatt has more to offer than its natural beauty, but we were both blessed and cursed again by visiting in the off-season. Blessed because the usually crowded streets and obstructed views almost felt like we had them all to ourselves, yet cursed because many of the restaurants and attractions were unfortunately closed. That being said, I found it difficult to be disappointed as I was completely spellbound by this place, and found myself having an absolute blast attempting the impossible task of capturing its allure with my camera.
I've lost Tyler and Tom because I just cannot stop stopping and taking video. It's just ridiculous here.
One pleasant bus ride later, and we were back in Salzburg, ready for a drink. Nestled into the narrowest house in the shopping district, we found Spor, a liquor shop specializing in schnapps and punch that Tyler had found recommended by the famous travel guide Rick Steve. We had one goal for our visit, to find Tyler a schnapps that he actually liked. What followed was a whirlwind of new flavors, new friends, and of course, lots of schnapps.
3 sweet, 3 not sweet.
Good variety.
Try first.
This raspberry?
Yeah.
Maybe you save the bitter.
Yeah.
This is sweet. It's cocoa beans and hazelnuts.
Ooh.
This is a special blend. Sour cherry and whiskey.
Ah, that sounds good.
It's
Yeah.
like temperature cool.
Yes.
That's incredible. Whoa.
It's, we are famous for hot red punch. Our recipe is 100 years old.
Okay, we gotta try that. All right, this is the cones of pine
Yeah.
tree. All right, try it.
It's not distilled like the clear one. It's a way of maceration. Yeah.
Hey T, how'd you like those schnapps?
That was good. That was a fun time.
What did you get? You got like one big thing of
I got-
schnapps, right?
Well, when I watched the Rick Steve show, he drank the apple pear, which is one of their homemade schnapps.
And you like pear a lot.
Like pear. But
Was
I'll
it-
tell you, that was like drinking gas. It was strong. Really good though.
That was an awesome experience. Excellent, excellent
I
experience.
recommend the elderberry, the kraut bitter, and that like hot orange
Orange punch.
thing. Orange punch.
That's all they called it. Was orange punch. So it was. I didn't get to film a lot while I was in there because it was all kind of a whirlwind. As soon as from the second we walked in and we said we wanted to kind of like try stuff,
And then
ask them for recommendations, they
Everybody
just
was
started
very friendly
pouring
and stuff.
lots of schnapps, and it all happened really quickly.
We made some friends.
We made some friends.
It was a good time.
Yeah,
I would go back.
I agree. I didn't know there were that much variety of schnapps.
As Hans told us, the bartender, now it is time for a beer.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find
We're gonna find
another
some dinner and beer.
After some quick souvenir shopping, we took the advice of Hans and sought out some lower ABV beverages, along with dinner at the Stiegel Brewery. And after one last evening stroll around town, it was time to say goodbye to Salzburg and head back to Munich for our final day of the trip.
Attention please. Regionalzug to Mühldorf in Oberbayern. Scheduled departure time 10:08.
Right, it's sad days today. Today is our final full day on the trip, and this is our final big train. We're heading back to Munich from Salzburg. And yeah, we don't really know what we're gonna do today. I think it's gonna be a relaxing one. He has a really early flight tomorrow, so.
On the 10th and final day, I think we were all kind of feeling the pace of our trip finally catching up to us, so we didn't have much planned. We spent the first half of our day revisiting some of our favorite food and beverage spots in Munich. Me getting more coffee from the local outdoor market, and Tyler and Tom getting one final Leberkäse sandwich. Then I headed out for a quick solo adventure to relax in the pleasant gardens outside of the Nymphenburg Palace, which was promptly cut short by this pushy swan.
I got no bread. Get out of here. Get out of here, dude! You son of a bitch! I don't have anything. I was being so chill, and then people came and started feeding them all bread, and now they can't get it. They think I got something.
It was probably for the best though, really, as I needed to get back to meet up with Tyler and Tom for one final beer of our Bavarian trip.
Alright, it's gonna be our last beer together. One last time. Prost! Prost! Big T,
Yeah.
what was your favorite destination of the trip?
We were just talking about that, and Tyler, I think I can't really pick one. Everyone was a little bit different than the other ones. I loved Nuremberg, I loved going to Rotenburg, I loved Garmisch.
What was your favorite day?
I mean, it might have been the Zug's Peak, going up to the top of the...
That's my favorite day, for sure.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. Ty, what was your favorite destination on the trip?
Well, I would say each destination is different. Garmisch was very pretty, and it was actually tough to do, unlike Hallstatt. Hallstatt was beautiful,
But not much to
it
do.
felt like a fake town.
What? It didn't feel fake to me.
Everything was closed, so it felt
Yeah.
kind of fake because of that. It was beautiful. That was the most breathtaking city, I think.
I agree. All right, Ty, what's your favorite German dish? We all know the answer.
Schnitzel.
Yeah, obviously.
I love schnitzel.
I think Tyler had schnitzel like 4 out of the 10 nights. I think 4 out of the 10 nights here. Yeah.
The beer here is fantastic. I love the Helles beer.
That was my next
Most
question.
refreshing.
You like the Helles the most?
Yeah. It's a lower alcohol content probably than like an IPA, so it's more drinkable.
What was your favorite leg of travel?
Well, I liked that day when we drove to Garmisch.
Where we had the freedom of the car?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't driving, so it was a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
It was a little stressful at first, but that was fun. It was nice to see all the woods and everything from the car. And actually, the bus ride over to Hallstatt was incredible.
That was incredible. If you could do this trip again, what's the one thing you would change?
I would spend the night in Rotenburg
Yeah.
because it was fine. It was cool because it's like a medieval town. But it would be a lot cooler at night with like all these candlelights and everything.
Yeah.
You can go on the night watchman's tour.
I did. All right. The trip has come to an end. First of all, experiencing Germany was incredible. I've never been here before, and it's just such a treat to travel abroad. I really enjoy it. Traveling abroad just makes everything so exciting and fun. It just makes life feel like an adventure, even the littlest things. It was really nice to have my friends along with me, and it was definitely very helpful to have them as well, because it is not easy navigating in foreign countries. It's a very good reminder to be really kind to people in America that are traveling, that are foreigners,
because it's just not easy being a foreigner. It really isn't. I'm really excited to see how the videos come out because, and more importantly, I'm really excited to see how they're received because I would be so stoked if this is what I did for the channel. If this was a future that I could pursue, I think that I would really, really love it. I'm already planning, already thinking about future possibilities for more exciting adventures, and I'd love to include mountain biking in them. Yeah, anyway, if you're watching this now, that means you watched to the end of whatever video came of this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, being a part of it and making it possible by doing that. And I hope you are as excited as I am for the next. Until then, you know what to do. Live free, fly hard, get stoked, get sleep. I'll see you guys back in the United States. Boom.